friends, welcome back to my channel and welcome if you're new here. This video is a fun one. I have a WW comfort food recipe for you. It was so good. With fall around the corner, winter coming, the cold months, what's better than something comforting to fill your belly but also stay within your points? And this recipe does just that. It was so good, so good. So if you want to see what I have in store for this episode of my WW comfort food for the entire family, just keep watching. For tonight's comfort food dinner, we are going to have chicken stovetop comfort stew. Creamy, delicious stew for the cooler weather. So let me show you what is in tonight's comfort food for the entire family. First, you're going to need either some chicken broth, chicken stock, or chicken bouillon cubes, whatever you prefer. I'm going to go ahead and use up my leftover chicken stock. Trader Joe's or any type of light shredded Mexican cheese. Try to get one that is 2 points or so per quarter of a cup. You'll also need some fat-free shredded cheese, and this is just going to cut down on the points. We'll do part Trader Joe's, part fat-free, and that really does help with the points. Some broccoli florets, celery, carrots, chicken. I'm going to be doing these thin sliced chicken breasts. Then we'll need a can of cream of mushroom soup. You can either do the fat-free or the healthy request. I honestly prefer the healthy request. I think the consistency and the taste is better, and it is the same smart point. So cream of mushroom soup, any type of sour cream, light or fat-free, and lastly, just some basil. So let's get started on tonight's comfort food. The first thing that we need to do is boil our chicken. So I've went ahead and added 2 large and 1 fairly small thin sliced chicken breast. You can do as much or as little as you want, just make it to your taste. And to our chicken, I'm going to add my chicken stock. We want to make sure that we have enough to cover the chicken breast so that it has a chance to boil and get cooked completely through. So just enough broth or water and bouillon to cover the chicken. So that looks pretty darn good. So we're going to let this come to a boil, cook our chicken completely through, and in the meantime, let's get our veggies ready. While our chicken's coming to a boil, we're going to go ahead and chop up our celery, our broccoli, and dice up our carrots. Put this all in a large bowl. It'll be ready to go into the remaining broth. Once your chicken is all boiled and cooked through, you're going to go ahead and remove the chicken, and we're going to put it over here on our cutting board. Sorry for the steaminess. There you go. We're just going to put it here on our cutting board because we do need to cut it into bite-sized pieces once it is cooled. And then we want about 3/4 of a cup of the broth left over in the pan. So that's probably pretty darn close. And to that is where we're going to go ahead and add our veggies. And we are going to allow them to cook down completely. We want them still crispy, but cooked completely through. So we're going to let these cook for about 5 to 7 minutes on the stove. And then when our chicken is cooled, we're going to get it cut into bite-sized pieces. To our vegetables, we're going to go ahead and add in our basil. And again, I don't usually measure spices, I just kind of eyeball it. And I'm also going to add in some of these Lighthouse dehydrated red onions. I bought these at Costco. I decided not to cut up a fresh onion only because my husband doesn't really like big chunks of onion. So by adding in these little minced red onions, you still get the taste without the big chunks. So we're gonna let this cook. So I just pulled the lid off our veggies. They look perfect. So now we're going to go ahead and add in our can of cream of mushroom soup. And I did reduce the heat and put a lid on this while it cooked down the vegetables. Just, I didn't show you guys that part. So take it off of high and put it more onto a medium high or even a medium heat. So we're going to go ahead and add our can of our cream of mushroom. And then we're also going to add the entire container of our cream cheese. That would not be good. Our sour cream. So I'm going to add my full 16 ounces here of my fat-free sour cream. And we're going to give this a good mix. And then we're going to add back in our pieces of chicken. So this is going to be really good. Nice and creamy. Yum. So we kind of mixed in that soup and the cream, or sour cream. I really want this to be cream cheese. And then we're gonna go ahead and add back in our pieces of chicken. I just cut them into bite-sized pieces after they cooled. And we're going to allow this to cook down for just a few minutes. We wanna get that sour cream and soup warmed through. And then the last step is our cheese. And that's it, you guys. Super fast, one pot comfort food. So I'm gonna let this warm through and we'll be back to add in our cheese. Once everything's warmed through, we're gonna go ahead and add in our cheese. So I have half of a cup of fat-free and a cup there on the bottom of the Trader Joe's Lite shredded. And we're just gonna mix this until our cheese is melted and combined in our delicious stew. This looks so delicious. So I'm gonna let this cook the rest of the way through, get that cheese nice and melted, and then we'll go ahead and plate it up and I'll be back to give you the smart points. So here is our completed comfort food stew. This looks and smells delicious. I did go ahead and add a little bit of pepper and a little bit of garlic salt. So you can divide this into 4 or 6 servings. If you do 4 servings, which is what I did, it is 6 smart points per serving. If you do 6 servings, it brings it down to 4 smart points per serving. So again, this is 1/4. So my entire dinner here is only 6 smart points. Thank you for joining me on another video in my WW Comfort Food for the Entire Family series. This stew was delicious. Absolutely delicious. In fact, it was even better the next day when it had a chance to kind of sit there and really absorb all those delicious flavors. So incredibly good. And those smart points, you guys, isn't that crazy? It is a whole meal and it was so filling and so delicious and is a must try. Family friendly, family pleaser for sure. So if you're new, I'd love it if you would take a quick moment and hit that little red subscribe button and the little notification bell. That way you'll get a little notification every time I upload a new video. I do a ton of recipes here on my channel. You'll never go without your WW recipes. So make sure you're subscribed and that you hit that bell. Please thumbs up this video and comment down below. Let me know if you're gonna make this for your family. It's definitely a must-make recipe. It was so good. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye, guys.